And at this point in time is the time I get to inform you I wish Barry would buy a suction cup mount for his camera.
I do have a suction cup mount for my camera. It's bald and fat and sitting in the passenger seat. Hi folks, this is Barry Lohman from Motorama Live and Team Hall Nass, sitting here I'm bringing you a real treat today. We're in the 2013 GMC Acadia Denali, and I've also got my good friend Charlie from Burnout Radio.
That's me.
He's official cameraman right now. Of course, we got Adam back here from TX Garage.
That's me. That's Adam.
Yes. And we've got the lovely Kelly.
Thank you.
From GMC, formerly of Buick, actually, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, of course, Kelly has got experience with us in the past. Thus, when I said, "Hey, Kelly, you want to ride with us, don't you?" She got that look of terror on her face, and then she was like, "Somebody has to." So, now if you're acting in time to drive, we're in a pre-production vehicle right now. Of course, it's got to be close to what it's really going to be like, or they wouldn't let nut jobs like us with cameras in it. So we're going to drive it around Dallas a little bit here today. We're right now at the Flight Museum outside of Love Field. We just did a little photo shoot. And now we're going to drive it around a little bit, and we're going to start by jumping off a curb, because of course we're up on a sidewalk, because Charlie wanted it as close to the plane as possible.
That's not just any plane, that's an F-105 Thunder Chief.
Enough yakking, time to drive. We'll see how smoothly the vehicle goes off the curb. Oh, that's nice.
Pretty good.
Not bad. And for those of you that are a fan of my favorite automotive commercial, with of course the ZR1 and America Still Builds, what is that? Oh yeah, what's in the background? Rockets, that's right. So let's see what kind of a rocket ship we're dealing with here from the GMC. We're not on a public road right now, so this could technically be called closed course. We're braking, we're going around a corner. And speaking of Corvettes, there we go. Yay! How you doing today, sir? Who is this idiot and get him out of my airport? So, obviously we've got great acceleration, we've got very impressive braking, and the stability controls work really well for tight cornering. So these are always things that, you know, are of a concern, because as, you know, as enthusiasts, we discuss quite often the general public struggles with the concept of driving. And so a lot of these controls are for folks that really need help with keeping their car going in the right direction, and not running into the rest of us that actually, you know, take the time to learn what we're doing. So, you know, considering that this vehicle is aimed squarely at the competitor for this, they're saying would be the Explorer, and it seems like it would be. So I think that you know, a nice little demonstration there of the safety features and capabilities here in the new 2013 GMC Acadia. Hi folks, Barry Lohman from Motorama Live and Team Hall Nass. Inside the 2013 GMC Acadia Denali edition. Of course, I got my good friend Charlie from Burnout Radio with me. We got Adam from TX Garage. We just drove this vehicle. It's pre-production, though it's pretty close to being ready to drop, or they wouldn't let us in it, obviously. And it will be in dealerships, GM is claiming, sometime in November. So we just drove it. All three of us got a little turn behind the wheel, put a few miles on it. So we're going to do a little first impressions here. So I'm going to start out with Adam from TX Garage. Adam, what was your impression of the new Acadia?
I've always liked the Acadia. It's always been a nice looking, nice performing SUV. My biggest gripe with it from the last generation was the interior. It really wasn't special. It wasn't any more special than the Traverse. It wasn't any more special than other cars on this platform. They've really stepped up the interior with this one. I really like it. It still drives smooth. It still does everything that you need a three-row SUV to do, but it's got a lot nicer interior, and that's exactly what this car needed.
Absolutely. Charlie from Burnout Radio, what's your first impression here?
GMC has done a wonderful job with their Denali sub-brand, and apparently it's like 35% of their sales now are Denalis, and this Acadia is a Denali, and I don't think I'd have it any other way. But then it's got 4 doors, so it doesn't fit the Burnout Radio buy list. So.
You know, but the 4-door CTS-V, you could make an exception for.
Only in wagon.
Only in wagon, of course. And so I guess it's my turn now. First impression, that, you know, GM is really going after the Explorer with this bad boy. I mean, they're making no bones about it. And the Denali edition, if it was just a base Acadia, they've stepped it up. I gotta admit, I'm impressed with this thing. It's what, 288 horsepower and what you said, 270 foot-pounds of torque, I believe it was?
Yeah.
You know, it drove nice. It was smooth. Of course, we were driving around downtown Dallas, and for those of you that ever driven around downtown Dallas, you'd never know that there's actually some oil money in this state, because the roads here are horrible. We're talking Detroit bad, especially for this far south. It was very smooth over the bumps. I was very impressed with the ride quality of this particular product. And of course, they've brought the Denali edition now to the Acadia, and they're putting it in the Terrain for 2013, I believe they said. So, you know, they've really taken this Denali brand and expanded it across all the GMC line now. And it's, you know, if you know, Ford has the King Ranch, GMC has the Denali, and it's not really a fair comparison, because of course King Ranch is, you know, you've already got a loaded up truck, but you know, Lariat, by the time you add the King Ranch package on the Ford side, whereas the Denali is really the whole package over here. Now, I did pose the question to the marketing manager for GMC, you know, what is the typical price point add-on for a Denali package across your product line? And it varies from vehicle to vehicle, but they did say it's in the $3,000 to $5,000 range to check that Denali box. But of course, for that, you're basically checking the check all box when you check Denali. It pretty much loads the vehicle up with maybe a couple of other things that you could, you know, add or delete or what have you. So first impression, GMC Denali, I gotta give it a thumbs up. You know, we'll see how it drives, you know, when we get to spend a little additional time in it. But first impression, I gotta say, GM, good job. So this is Barry Lohman, of course, from Team Hall Nass and Motorama Live. We get from Charlie from Burnout Radio and Adam from TX Garage, reminding you that if you've just been passed, especially by any of these cats, then you're not hauling Nass.